Looks like the timing is just waiting for one last car. Looks like Eddie Baker is still out trying to get a qualifying lap in, as is Scruggs. Scruggs not upside down in the middle of turn 2 at the moment. That is a plus. There we go. Everybody is done. All right, now they will line up and go racing. Up front, it's going to be Mason Neal and Brian Burkhart. Then Matt Stewart and Dakota Wilson on the second row. Jonathan Orapollo and Jordan Probst on the third row. DJ Kenner, Brandon McLaughlin on the fourth row. Jim Johnson, Patrick Coluccio on the fifth row. Superman, Norman Chan, and Tom the Missile Land are starting 11th and 12th. 13th is Eddie Baker, then Justin Glover is 14th, Michael Scruggs 15th, Jim Belair is 16th, and Brian Mansfield starting way back in 17th. Waiting for everybody to get on the grid here. Looks like everybody is just about lined up, waiting. There goes the pace car. And everybody's starting to roll off and form up. It is a single pace lap here. And I just realized Mason Neal got that second place qualifying run on that last lap. Or I'm sorry, that he's starting on the pole, and he knocked that out on the last lap of qualifying. "45 laps. And yep, Zach is correct. Best of luck to all the drivers. This track is a bit tricky. 3 different turns, 3 different levels of banking, 3 different length straightaways. Several drivers trying different lines, trying different braking or brake bias, trying all sorts of different stuff despite the fixed setup. Could make things very, very interesting as the race goes on and these guys start pushing for positions. Coming through turn 3 now, they will drop off. There is no turn 4, although we might see a few guys later in the run make a right-hand turn trying to find turn 4. I've seen that one happen a time or two. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. They light it up. We've got a car down to the inside falling back. Looks like he is intentionally falling backwards. Looks like that is DJ Kenner dropping to the back of the field. Through turn 1, everybody gets through in one piece, and Mason Neal is checking out. Meanwhile, back behind him, they are 2 wide, in some spots 3 wide, further back in the field. Everybody trying to get everything they can off the green here. Looking to see if everybody makes it through turn 2 cleanly. Yes, didn't see anybody get any of the wall here. Mason Neal's going to come out of turn 3 with a decent sized lead, half a second after the first lap. Meanwhile, there's a lot of battling going on back here mid-pack. They get single file suddenly coming off turn 3, but some of these guys really pushing for everything they could get early on, and a few guys look like they have intentionally dropped to the back, expecting trouble early. Multiple lines through turn 1, everybody making it through so far. Back up front, Mason Neal continues to just walk away from Brian Burkhart, Jordan Probst, and Matt Stewart. Coming out of turn 2, a couple of guys getting real slidey there. Waiting for those tires to come up to full heat. It does take a little bit longer on this track because you're on the straightaway for so long. It takes a little bit longer to build that heat in the right side tires. And everybody getting every bit of the draft that they can. Dakota Wilson moving to the high side. Guys trying to shake the draft already. Dakota couldn't get a run there. And Matt Stewart trying to make something happen out of one on the bottom. Dakota Wilson's going to come with him. Dakota moves back to the high side. Dakota can't make up his mind what lane he's going to be in, but he is going to send it either lane. They go through turn 2, too wide. Everybody gets a little squirrely that time. As the 14 of Brandon McLaughlin is starting to make some moves back there as well. He is definitely pushing that car extremely hard, looking for every opportunity and taking it. Guys on the move right now, though. Patrick Coluccio. He started in 10th. He is battling for 6th place here. Jordan Probst, who started in 6th, now up to 3rd. Brandon McLaughlin started in 8th. He is up to 5th. Tom the Missile Man started in 12th, up to 9th, but he has got Superman Norman Chan right to the back bumper and looking to the inside as they go to the tunnel turn. Too wide, too deep, and looks like Norm backed out just a little. Norm gets a little sideways. Hang on to it, Norm. He's getting a push now. The 29 of Jonathan Orapallo giving Superman a push down the short chute. Oh, as we've got one getting way loose back there. That is Michael Scruggs in the 28. Got way loose coming up off turn 3. Managed to save it, though. And what a hornet's nest of cars right there. Back up front, Mason Neal, almost a full 1 second lead right now. Burkhart there in second. Mason definitely down the straightaway doing everything he can to break the draft. Jim Belair went off track. Let's see what happened there. Looks like Jim was slowed down coming between 2 and 3. He has gone to pit road. Second place, Brian Burkhart. Third place, Jordan Probst. Brandon McLaughlin now up to 4th, continuing his march to the front. He has definitely got a fast car here tonight. Matt Stewart now back to 5th after starting in 3rd. And right in the clutches of Patrick Coluccio. Looks like Dakota Wilson's lost a lot of ground since the start as well. But this mess back here at the back, everybody is still fighting for every inch. Eddie Baker trying to make a move on trying to run down Tom the Missile Man, battling with Jonathan Orapallo there. Jonathan lets him go, makes the crossover move to the inside, and now going down into turn 3. They both send it in there extremely hard. Both drift up just a little bit. They both managed to hold it. Coming off 3, though, it's going to be Eddie Baker. Mason Neal's lead is shrinking. Burkhart finally finding some grip and some speed. He has found a fast way around here, and he is closing in quickly. Mason Neal was trying to break the draft on him. Wasn't quite enough. Burkhart had a little help from Probst and McLaughlin. Both of them helping push him up there, and now these guys are battling for everything they can. McLaughlin starting in 8th. He is up to 4th now as they come through turn 3. And he has had quite a charge Although once he got to fourth there, once he got past Stewart, he is kind of stalled. He's not gaining a whole lot of ground on Jordan Probst, Brian Burkhart, or Mason Neal. Burkhart, though, think we might be seeing a challenge for the lead here before too much longer, as Burkhart right to the back bumper. Looks like Mason gets through one a little bit faster, and Burkhart gets around the rest of the track faster. Brian Mansfield now out on track, but I do believe he is several laps down. Yeah, Mansfield showing about 5 laps down at the moment. Oh, 9 laps down, excuse me. Now it is Burkhart looking to the inside, down the front straightaway. Mason Neal's got help from Jordan Probst on the high side, though. Jordan literally pushing him down into turn 1. And Brendan McLaughlin now all up into the mix here. Burkhart still trying to get past Mason on the bottom. No drafting help at the moment. Mason has the advantage. And Burkhart's actually going to end up losing a position here. Will he lose another one to the 14? As he continues to lose a little bit of ground and momentum, he's now back in line, but went for the challenge for the lead, now dropped back to third. Fastest lap so far tonight has been Dakota Wilson. Dakota Wilson has the fastest lap of the night at a 54.16. He's literally a tenth of a second. His fastest lap was a tenth of a second faster than everybody else, but it looks like he might have burned his stuff up doing that, because he is now almost a half a second off the leader's pace. Let's see if Burkhart learned anything trying to get past Mason Neal, and if he can make something happen here. Mason Neal starting to open up a gap on Jordan now. Burkhart now to third. Brandon McLaughlin still right there, just outside of this battle. Patrick Coluccio now 1.4 seconds behind the lead group. He's got the help of Matt Stewart. Dakota Wilson in 7th is a little bit further back from there. Then you see the spread as they come down the front straightaway. Little pockets of 2 and 3 cars here and there. If one of these back groups gets together, starts working their way up, if they can work together and make their way to the front, they could run down that front group very quickly. But a lot of guys seem to be struggling with the handling, and some just seem to be excelling with it. It is not the default iRacing setup for tonight. It is they're using another setup that's a little bit better, a little bit freer. Instead of having to worry about pushing into the corners, they'll be getting a little bit loose, especially on cold tires. But the cars seem to be a little bit faster and a little bit more stable, as Mason Neal is really working down the front straightaway to make sure nobody drafts him. I've seen guys trying to break the draft down the front straightaway, but the extent Mason's taking it to is really, really crazy right now. And it does not help as they come out of turn 1. Jordan Probst right to the back bumper again. Mason Neal just so much faster through turn 2. All right, let's look through the field, and actually let's just run through the field while we have a moment. So you got Mason Neal in the lead. Jordan Probst right behind him in 2nd. Brian Burkhart is now in 3rd. Brandon McLaughlin up to 4th. Matt Stewart now back to 5th place. Patrick Coluccio in 6th, up 4 spots. Jim Johnson now starting to come into the picture. He is in 7th. Dakota Wilson currently running in 8th. Eddie Baker has picked up 4 spots to crack into the top 10. He is now in 9th. And Tom the Missile Land is in 10th. Justin Glover now up to 11th. He started in 14th. DJ Kenner is in 12th. Jonathan Oropalo right there in 13th. Superman Norman Chan quite a ways back in 14th. Michael Scruggs is in 15th. He is struggling. He was struggling with the handling in practice. Obviously continuing to struggle here. He's got to be hoping for a caution. Jim Belair is in 16th. 1 lap down, and Brian Mansfield is still, I believe, 8 laps down. Superman Norman Chan just came to pit road. Now they can go from here to the finish on fuel. So we'll see if Superman's strategy pays off. Oh, Mason Neal really close to the wall that time. We've seen him push it up to really high on the exit of 2. That's where he has been beating everybody here tonight. But that time he got a little bit too close for comfort. Out of turn 3, down the back or the front straightaway. Brandon McLaughlin has now lost the lead pack. He is coming in range of Matt Stewart here momentarily. Then Patrick Coluccio, Jim Johnson, and Eddie Baker, Dakota Wilson, all right there. We'll see if Brandon McLaughlin, once they start cycling through pit stops, and I am willing to bet some of these guys will try a 2-tire stop. Looks like Jonathan Oropalo and Michael Scruggs have both been to pit road now. These guys that were further back, it is a smart move to come in and get fresh tires. These guys have already fallen off 2 seconds from the start of the race, so we'll see how things play out with their tire strategies here. Mason Neal gives up the lead, ducking down to pit road. Burkhart and Probst staying out. Things could get interesting at the exit to pit road, as it is right there in turn 1. We've got a car coming up off pit road now. I believe that is Oropalo. And you see anybody running that low line could be in trouble. They managed to get through turn 1 okay. Now you've got everybody, and I mean everybody except the top 4 is on pit road. Jordan Probst, Brian Burkhart, Matt Stewart, Eddie Baker. They're the only ones that have not pitted. And this is not for points. This is just for glory here tonight. So no point in staying out for a bonus point leading a lap. It looks like Jordan Probst and Brian Burkhart are going to come down pit road. Matt Stewart is coming down pit road. Eddie Baker is now going to come down pit road. And we'll see if Mason Neal, as he is coming out of turn 1, headed down to the tunnel turn, we will see if he can get back around in time to reclaim the lead here. On those fresher tires, he can push a little bit harder out of turn 2, not sliding nearly as much now. Coming out of turn 3, watching to see when we start seeing cars come off pit road. Jordan Probst left the pit. Eddie Baker, Brian Burkhart, all 3 now off of pit road. But they're going to be far enough back that Mason Neal does reclaim the lead. But now there is going to be a bit of a battle with these 3, as Jordan Probst, Brian Burkhart, and Brandon McLaughlin were coming out and still coming up to speed, whereas Jim Johnson, who is just over a second behind, is at speed and gaining on them quickly. We'll see if these guys that had already pitted, their tires are warmed up. Will they be able to gain any ground on them? Mason Neal has checked out, folks. He's got a 4.5 second lead. So his pit strategy. Caution is out. Eddie Baker. Oh, let's see if that was precluded by anything. He was running side by side with the 07. And I do not believe... Oh, it looks like Eddie might have grabbed a little bit of the wall. He almost had that car saved, but couldn't get it. Smacked the inside wall. And, oh, I believe that was Tom the Missile Land. Eddie Baker trying to hold the brakes in the middle of the turn. Yes, Tom Land gets him, goes off track. Everybody else manages to avoid him. All right, Mason Neal out front. We're going to see... Let's see if we can talk to Patrick Coluccio. He is now running in 8th place. Patrick, this is Doug. You got me?
Yeah, Doug, I got you loud and clear.
Hey, man, it's been a bit up and down for you, but you're up 2 spots already. You going to be able to get up here and battle with Mason before the night's out?
That's the plan. I see Matt and I here taking tires since we just pitted anyway, just to stay fresh. Hopefully, I know it won't do anything here, but it's basically a lap and a half on tires. But we'll see. Plan is that Matt and I were racing hard to get up there, and we just didn't have enough juice to get to him by the pit stop, so we'll see.
Well, the yellow flag definitely benefits you, and you were extremely quick on the early run, so hopefully you can pick up some positions. There's a lot of guys pitting back behind you now as well. You'll come out about 8th or 9th, so great restart spot.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited. I'm looking forward. Hopefully I can beat Matt off pit road here. And Matt got me. But yeah, we're hopefully Matt and I can figure out a way to get to the front and battle them. We were watching them race for the longest time. Him and I battling, though, gave them some time between us, so we'll see. There's that bump right there on 1 that really throws you off if you take the line weird, so
yep,
you got to account for that.
All right, man. Well, best of luck. You and Matt work together, get to the front, battle it out on the last lap.
Yeah, that's the plan. Hopefully we'll be up there with the top guys there. Jim Johnson's making a run for it now, so it's going to be a fun race to the next pit stop.
All right, man. Good luck, buddy.
All right, thanks, buddy.
All right, let's talk to... I want to have a quick word with Justin Glover, who is running currently in 8th. Let's make sure that the lights are still on the pace car, though. Hey, Justin, this is Doug up in the booth. You got me, bud?
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man. Hey, you're having a heck of a run here. A little bit of a fast car and a little bit of strategy, and you're up in the top 10 now.
Yep, buddy. We got a fast hot rod paying tribute to my man Davey Allison with the old Halvoline Ford.
Well, these guys up front are wicked fast. You going to be able to run them down and get around them?
Man, me and DJ have been working pretty good together today, so hopefully we can keep it going.
All right, man. Well, best of luck to you. Hopefully you can get up there and you can give these guys a run for their money.
Oh, yeah. We're going to try. Thanks, Dougie.
All right. See you, man. All right, Justin Glover, always fun to talk to him. Always fun to talk to all these guys. And you can hear it in their voices tonight. They are having a blast out here. Sounds like they did go with a fuel limit. That's why we saw the pit stop at lap 17. So I would imagine with this stop at lap 19, they'll all still have to make one more pit stop. And anytime after about, in about 5 laps, they should be within their fuel window. We saw them some of these guys go 17 laps on a tank. So around lap 23, anybody can stop and go the distance from there, 23, 24, they should be good to go. We might see some guys short pitting, trying to play that tire strategy. You saw a couple guys duck in here at the last minute. Did see, I believe, Brian Mansfield got back to the lead lap. He is currently on pit road. No, he got a lap back. And it looks like Jim Belair might be out of the running. So Mansfield did get a lap back. I am showing Jim Belair is now out of the running. But don't forget, he'll be back for the Kokomo race, and he'll be back, I am sure, Monday night for that exciting event as well. Don't forget, as announced earlier, Monday night will be Outlaws Uncensored. Don't let the kids watch, but get all the adults in here. That's going to be fun. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air, and Mason Neal gets another good jump up at the front. Off into turn number 1 they go. We've got some guys looking 3 wide back here already. And I can tell you from experience, you can take these cars 4 wide through here. You could actually take them 5 wide through turn 1, but it never ends well. Is that Matt Stewart on the bottom? I do believe that was. That was the, no, that was DJ Kenner in the 32. Looked like he had some problems coming off turn 1. He is now way, way back. Moved Justin Glover up a spot, but the person he was looking forward to helping work with to get to the front, not there with him anymore. Couple of guys almost, I do believe, Brandon McLaughlin might have just grazed the wall coming off of turn 3 there. He was looking for turn 4. And seeing a lot of guys up here towards the front. Jordan Probst has been in this battle the whole time. Brian Burkhart's been in the battle the whole time. Mason Neal has been the class of the field so far. Brandon McLaughlin lost a couple spots on that pit cycle. Whereas Justin Glover gained several. He is now up into 8th. But remember, he pitted just a couple laps before the caution. Stayed out under caution. So some of these guys right behind him have fresher tires. We talked to Patrick Coluccio, him and Stewart. Him and DJ, excuse me, they several of these guys pitted together on that stop and have much fresher tires. And it was Coluccio, just checking my notes, it was Coluccio and Stewart that were working together, pitted together, but now Stewart's several more spots up. Patrick Coluccio, 2 more cars back, leading this second group as, oh, we've got spins off the back. It looks like Tom Land is involved. No caution yet as they cleared the track. Matt Stewart and Michael Scruggs collided. And Scruggs just hits the wall coming out of turn 2. Collects Tom the Missile Land there. Everybody stays green for the moment. They cleared the track or kept moving enough, but that's going to hurt Tom Land. Tessa Young, I'm going to say probably no. You may be an adult, but you're still my kid. Brian Burkhardt in 2nd, Jordan Probst in 3rd, Dakota Wilson is 4th, Matt Stewart is 5th now. Stewart, one of the guys that went into pit road under the caution, now picking up several positions. Patrick Coluccio still trying to get back up there to work with Matt. He is right behind Brandon McLaughlin. Brandon McLaughlin lost a couple of spots through the cycle of green flag pit stops and the caution, trying to work his way back up now. Good call, Skyler. Mason Neal, though, still holding court here at Pocono. He has led every lap except for the lap he was on pit road. That was the only time he has not led. It was during green flag pit stops. The rest of the night, he has just been dominant. Burkhart made a move on him earlier, couldn't make it work, lost a couple of spots, and ever since, nobody has made any attempt on him. Jordan Probst now looking to the inside on Burkhart. Burkhart moving down a little bit. I think they might be bump drafting down the front straightaway, trying to carry some momentum. I do believe those two cars are working together, trying to get up there and do something with Mason. Scruggs has been to pit road and back out. He is right in front of the leader. Tom the Missile Land still on pit road after that heavy hit. He lost his entire front clip. He'll have to get a repair. Scruggs drops low between 2 and 3. And everybody gets past him cleanly. Tom Land is now back out on track. We'll have to wait for an update. I do believe he's going to be about 2 laps behind when it's all said and done. Yeah, he is just now coming off pit road as the leaders come by. So that is going to put Tom the Missile Land 2 laps down. And that bump drafting between Jordan Probst and Brian Burkhart has worked. They are right back to the back bumper. This time, can Burkhart get a run to get around him, though? It has been one thing to catch him and another to pass him all night long. Oh, a little wiggle out of Burkhart, out of 2. He is sending that car for everything it's worth. Jordan Probst not there to help him as he gets through into turn 3. He drifts up a little bit. Wow, what a run, and Burkhart can't get it done yet, but here comes Probst on the inside to give him a little help. Still nothing yet. Meanwhile, Patrick Coluccio right up to Dakota Wilson's back bumper. They're closing in on Jonathan Orapallo. And this group is just over a second behind the lead pack. They are trying to run them down now as well, with Jonathan Orapallo leading that 4-car group. A little bit further back, Jim Johnson leading another 4-car group. DJ Kenner, Norman Chan, Justin Glover with them. Then you got guys like Eddie Baker, Tom the Missile Land, Michael Scruggs, and Brian Mansfield out there alone. No help. One or more laps down for each of those guys. And Mason Neal has checked out again just a little bit. Matt Stewart making a move for 3rd here off of turn 3. Burkhart dropping low. And Probst has one heck of a run up on the high side. Will he be able to capitalize on it? Now we've got a battle for 2nd as Matt Stewart came into the picture. Jordan looked like he had a run. Can't make it work yet. And here is another surprise. Jonathan Orapallo has broken away from his group and is running down the group in front of him. He is closing the gap on Matt Stewart. Last time by, Jonathan Orapallo had the fastest lap. The only car even close to him, everybody was a 1/10 of a second or more slower, except for Mason Neal, who was 0.07 of a second slower. Looks like Matt Stewart is looking for a way to pick up position. The front 4, single file, then Burkhart looking low off into 1. Will he have some help this time? He's got a run on the bottom. Needs a little drafting help. Jordan Probst goes up and helps Mason. No help for Burkhart here. If they don't get somebody around Mason Neal, if they don't work together to get around Mason, nobody's going to get around him. Oh, Burkhart hit the wall out of 2. Jordan gets by. Matt Stewart gets by. Burkhart now back to 4th. Skylar has a valid point. Hilarious, but valid. Off into turn one, Mason Neal continues to lead. Now we are seeing the final round of green flag stops. Jonathan Orapallo, DJ Kenner, Justin Glover just hit pit road. Surprised nobody short pitted. Everybody could have stopped about 2-3 laps ago and would have been able to go the distance. Nobody did. And now these guys starting to walk away just a little bit. Jim Belair now in the chat, no longer in the race, cheering on Brian Burkhart here. Burkhart has had a heck of a... Here comes Burkhart to pit road. After hitting the wall a lap ago, he is coming in. He's going to get fresh tires, fuel, get a repair, and get back in the fight. Maybe with those fresher tires, he can do something with Mason Neal. Maybe pitting with Dakota Wilson and Jim Johnson, he'll have a little bit of help. The front three now, Mason Neal, Jordan Probst, and Matt Stewart. Stewart has been lurking back there. Coluccio now up into fourth. He is 2.5 seconds behind this lead group. He's got Brandon McLaughlin. Both of these with him, both of these guys having really fast race cars. And Norman Chan now up into sixth. So Superman back in play here. Little squirrely off of turn two, though. And Mason Neal stays out. Jordan Probst and Matt Stewart go to pit road. Coluccio, McLaughlin, they all go to pit road. Mason Neal is the loneliest man in the world right now. Everybody has been to pit road except for Mason, and he is actually being hunted now by Brian Burkhart. Brian Burkhart has a little bit of help in Jonathan Orapallo and DJ Kenner if they can get together. I'm willing to bet we see Mason Neal pit this time by. "13 laps to go. Mason Neal been the dominant car tonight. Will pit strategy bite him, though? He went one lap further than everybody else. He'll have 1 lap fresher tires, but he has to have a perfect pit stop here, as Jordan Probst is now back with Brian Burkhart. They pitted on different laps. Burkhart pitted after Probst. Now, excuse me, oh my goodness, as they come out of turn two, Probst and Orapallo side by side. I'm sorry, Brian Burkhart pitted 1 lap before Jordan and Jonathan, so he has got 1 lap older tires. Here they come out of turn number 3, down the front straightaway. Mason Neal still on pit road. Mason Neal now showing he is coming up off of pit road. And Mason Neal is going to retain the lead for the moment, but here comes Brian Burkhart with a full head of steam. Is this Burkhart's best opportunity to get a pass? He's going to come at Mason at full speed here. Mason getting up to speed really quickly, though. He knows what's coming in his mirror. Burkhart sending it. You can see how much harder he pushed it through 2 that time. Everybody has cycled through their final pit stop here as they come off of turn 3. Mason Neal now back to the lead. And it is Mason Neal in first. Brian Burkhart in second. Jordan Probst in third. Orapallo is fourth. DJ Kenner back to 5th. Coluccio now up into 6th. Dakota Wilson in 7th. Jim Johnson now up to 8th. Last lap, the fastest time was by Jordan Probst. Jim Johnson currently in 8th. 9th is Brandon McLaughlin. 10th is Justin Glover. Superman Norman Chan is 11th. Matt Stewart back to 12th. And Eddie Baker into 13th. Jordan Probst just turned not only his fastest lap, the fastest lap of the race by over a tenth of a second on anybody else. So Jordan Probst on this last run, he's figured something out in those first two, after those first two stops, those first two green flag runs, he figured something out and he is sending it. 10 laps to go from Pocono, and Burkhart is now to the lead, and Probst is looking for second. Let's see how it happened. How did Burkhart get the lead here? Coming out of turn one, last time he got a run to the inside of Mason Neal. Off into turn two, he went full send. Mason Neal trying to pull a crossover. It looked like couldn't get it. Burkhart had too much momentum. And now Mason Neal just a little ways behind Burkhart. Then Jordan Probst looking to the inside on Mason. If Mason fights too much, if these guys battle really hard, it could give Burkhart a little bit of an advantage here. 9 laps to go. Nobody needs tires. Nobody will need fuel. Back a little further, Coluccio and Dakota Wilson trying to run down DJ Kenner. DJ currently in 5th. He is trying to run down Jonathan Orapollo in 4th, and he is losing ground right now. Justin Glover started in 14th. He is up to 10th. Coluccio started in 10th, now up to 6th. Those are your two biggest movers so far tonight. Back up front, Burkhart continues to lead as Mason Neal and Jordan Probst still side by side through turn 3. Jordan cannot get around him. Now that Burkhart is to the lead, will he let... I don't think Mason's going to get by very easy. Mason gave Brian a workout earlier in the race. I fully expect Brian to have learned a lot from the workout that he got, and he is going to use everything he learned against that orange and white car of Mason Neal. But Mason not giving... Oh, Mason's really loose in turn 2. Jordan Probst has an opportunity to pounce here. He jumps down to the inside. Will it be enough? This time he's been able to get to the inside in turn 3 the last few laps. Burkhart is smiling, looking in his mirror right now. It is still not enough. That outside line carrying the momentum. Mason Neal still holding on to second. Jordan Probst every lap is starting to look for different places to gain the momentum. He knows he is faster in turn 2 than Mason is. Mason's been holding on to it the last few times by. Let's see if Mason struggles again coming up off the turn. He gets a little squirrely, not as bad though. But Jordan gets a lot better run that time. And he sends it into turn 3, drifts up in the middle of the corner, forces Mason up just a little bit, still not enough. Sometimes it takes a couple of laps of pushing to set up a pass here. It can get, if you don't have the momentum quickly, if you don't make the pass quickly, it is very difficult. Mason Neal has perfected making passing difficult. Now Mason's starting to look to the inside on Burkhart. You know Burkhart's not going to make it easy here. 6 laps to go. He knows he can keep him behind him. Burkhart on the outside. Will he be able to hold Mason Neal off in turn 2? Mason gets loose on the bottom. And now Jordan Probst looking to the outside here. Now Jordan's got the advantage on the high side. Will he be able to make the pass this time? As Mason drifts up in the middle of 3, Jordan's got some momentum here. They are on each other's bumpers down the front straightaway. Mason Neal doing everything he can to keep Jordan behind him. I don't think he's going to be able to do it much longer. And Burkhart has got to be loving this. They're going to continue until they end up wrecking each other the way they are pushing, as long as he can keep Mason behind him. Mason's so much faster than Burkhart right now through turn 1, though. Brian ducks down to the inside through turn 2. Drifts it up, has the perfect line through turn 2. Mason loses a lot of ground there, and here comes Jordan Probst again. And they are on each other's bumpers, all three nose to tail through the middle of turn 3. Jordan waited a little longer to start his run this time. Will it be enough? No, not yet. And while they are battling, they have actually opened up 6-second lead over Jonathan Orapallo, Patrick Coluccio, Dakota Wilson. This group, though, is reforming with Jim Johnson in there as well. A lot of battling going on back here. As Jim Johnson now looking to the inside of Dakota Wilson. He has definitely got the run here. And Jim Johnson is going to pick up 6th place here. Mason Neal now back to the lead. And now Jordan Probst to the lead. Let's go back here and just take a quick look at how Mason managed to get around Burkhart. Burkhart was pushing extremely hard up off of turn 2. They both sneak by. And now they continue to battle side by side. Jordan Probst finally gets an advantage here. Burkhart is not done yet, though. He is still right there with these guys. Just a slight aero adjustment on the 18 car. He'll be fine. Mason Neal continues to try and get back to the lead. He was the dominant car early in the race, but now we've got 2 laps to go, and Jordan Probst got to the lead after Brian Burkhart hits the wall out of 2. And Brian Burkhart is still right there. Just a couple of tenths behind. He is still well within the draft. And is still perfectly positioned to capitalize on any mistake these two make. And I guarantee you, these two are going to be sending it the last lap. Especially Mason Neal. He has been sending it extremely hard into every corner the last few laps. He's drifting up in the middle of turn 3. Burkhart manages to hold a lower line throughout. They have got the white flag. Jordan Probst in the lead with 1 lap to go. Off into turn 1. This is where Mason Neal has been the fastest, coming through turn 1 and up off of it from 1 to 2. Can he make something happen here? He's got a little bit of a run down there. Jordan moves a little bit low, making sure he can't get by him on the straightaway. Off of turn 2, Mason Neal loses a ton of ground that time. And Jordan Probst opens up his lead to almost half a second in that one turn. Jordan Probst way high through 3. Burkhart looking to the inside. Can Brian get back up into second? He's got some momentum. Who's it going to be? It is Mason Neal for second, but Jordan Probst, a hard-fought win here tonight. What a run. Mason Neal comes home second. Burkhart is third. Coluccio into 4th. Jim Johnson into 5th. Dakota Wilson 6th. 7th is Jonathan Oropalo. DJ Kenner comes home 8th. Brandon McLaughlin is 9th. Superman Norman Chan is 10th. Justin Glover is 11th. Matt Stewart is 12th. Eddie Baker is 13th. Tom Land is 14th. And Michael Scruggs comes home 15th. And they begin the standard celebration for the Outlaws on the front straightaway. Mikey Mixter's getting ready for the sprints with the Spirits. All right, let's see if we can get a quick word. Let's see if Jordan's up here where we can talk to him. He is not in Discord yet, but he knows he can come talk to us, so we'll give him just a minute to join us. While we're waiting on him, let's see if we can get a quick word with Brian Burkhart. Hey, Brian, this is Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got you, Doug.
Hey, man, that was a crazy race. It looked like you had it until you got the wall out of 2.
Yeah, I just blew the entry going into 2 there, went in a little hot and just flat missed it and, paid the price.
Well, you 3 up at the front. That after that last stop, that was one heck of a battle. I mean, you guys have been battling the whole race, but man, Mason was really hard for you to get by. You had a run on him several times, just couldn't complete it.
Yeah, it's these Cup cars. The way that the way the aero package is, it's easier to get to a guy than it is to get by him. But yeah, it's just this type of racing. But man, it was a lot of fun. That was one of the most fun races I've had in a while.
Well, congratulations, a really good 3rd place finish. That was a heck of a battle.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the broadcast. Congrats to Jordan and Mason. A lot of fun, clean racing all the way back through the field. Appreciate you broadcasting us, bud.
My pleasure.
Thanks.
All right, looks like Mason Neal has jumped up here and joined us. Hey, Mason.
Hey, how's it going, Doug?
Hey, good. Hey, man, you fought hard all night long.
Yeah, it was great there, and then that caution in the middle kind of messed up the strategy a little bit. I was trying to do 15-lap stints and do 2 pit stops, and that went down the drain just a little bit there at the end. And Brian and Jordan pitted just a little before me, probably I think 3 laps before maybe, and they took 4 tires, and I was planning on taking 2 all along because there wasn't a lot of fall off on the left side tire, so I had 2 tires there at the end when I was fighting with them, so that made it a little bit more fun.
I'm sure it did. But, man, you managed to hold them off most of the race. It was just there at the end when they were able to get around you. But even still, just some crazy moving there. You were able to hold them off from the inside, hold them off from the outside. Was there anywhere they got that you were worried about it?
At the end of the race there, Jordan was a lot better through the tunnel turn. And so I ended up having to run the high line there in 3, probably the 5 laps before before Brian hit the wall. So it was kind of a little back and forth, and I was trying to keep my track position but keep it clean, and it was pretty intense right there.
I was holding my breath, so I can imagine what it was like in the car, man. Well, that was a heck of a run. You guys had one heck of a battle. Great show, man. Congratulations on a great 2nd place finish.
All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate the broadcast, buddy.
No problem. All right, I have not seen Jordan jump in here yet, but we'll give him a few more minutes. Don't forget to stick around because we will here shortly have the sprints from Kokomo, non-winged sprints. This one will be a little bit crazy, and Mikey Mixter is white clawing it up in preparation. That's a little worrisome. On many levels, Mikey, really. But I am sure that, as always, is going to be a blast of a race. Just looking to see if Jordan has jumped in. I don't believe he has. So stick around. We'll be back in just a few moments. And we will have the sprints from Kokomo. And don't forget to tune in Monday night if you're an adult. There will be some adult language because it will be the Outlaws Uncensored per the fan request. And it looks like Matt Stewart ended up getting a speeding in the pits, but Skyler has a special paint scheme for this next race. That worries me just a little bit. All right, stick around. We'll be back with some non-winged sprints from Kokomo in just a few moments.